Good morning, Vietnam. At 6:30 a.m. on the 22nd of April 2025, I realized a dream. I stepped into Saigon. Why was going to Vietnam a dream? That's an easy one to share. Vietnam, a kaleidoscope of vivid colours and subtle shades. Vietnam, a land of exotic sights and curious sounds. Vietnam, a land of compelling history and contrasting cultures. My name is Victoria Rose. I was born a solo traveller. I am here in Vietnam for 90 days on a challenge, and that challenge is to live solely on my Australian age pension. My budget is $50 Australian dollars a day, with the ability to fall back to 60 if that's how it works out. How will I go with this challenge? Is it something that would interest you? Would you like to know that you can travel if you were born a traveller as well? If you could travel and do it easily on your Australian age pension or whatever pension you are living on. Follow me and find out, because I'm finding out too. What a journey. In this video, I share why I chose this challenge, how I'll live on 50 Australian dollars a day, and where I'll travel in Vietnam. Why did I choose this challenge? Well, actually, there are two reasons. I call it my purpose, and there's a personal why as well. So let me go into the personal why first. Personal. I have been house sitting full time with a bit of volunteering for the last 7 years. It is exhausting looking after beloved pets. It's a 24/7 responsibility, and that weighs heavily on my shoulders. It never, ever has any house sit ever been a holiday. I do not treat it as such. It's a huge responsibility, and as I've already said, it is quite exhausting. And the time came round about February of this year that I realised I needed a holiday, a real holiday. I have been keeping my daily expenses in Australia ever since I returned from my 16-month solo backpacking through 10 countries to prove it is possible to live and travel overseas on an Australian age pension. Because I've been keeping my daily budget, I've found that it still costs me 50 Australian dollars to live in Australia. So, because I needed a holiday, I figured, this could be a challenge. Could I live for 50 Australian dollars with the ability to go out to 60 a day if necessary and have a real holiday, not have the responsibility, which, as I've said, weighs heavily on my shoulders? I look at those beloved pets, and it is a wonderful opportunity to care for them, and I now need to care for me. So could I do that in Vietnam and just care for myself, not have that extra responsibility? So what is the purpose? You know, I've always thought I've never really known what I wanted to be when I was younger. I don't know, perhaps you're one of those who have said, I've always known I want to be a doctor or a nurse or an accountant or an astronaut. But I've not really known that. But then I remembered when I was 13 years old, I'm the eldest of 5, I would gather the teddies and the dolls, and I would line them up on the shelf, and I teach them my homework. I have always been a trainer. I've always wanted to learn more. It's exciting. I'm curious about what I don't know, which, by the way, is a hell of a lot. But I'm open to learning what I don't know and how I could live life better. So I figured, what if I could, well, here's the what if. What if I could show the way to other older women who have a dream? Now, that dream might be to travel, but it doesn't have to be. That dream might just be to do something they've always wanted to do, but still have not done. Because I'm telling you, when I'm lying on my deathbed, and I've got a few decades to go yet, when I'm lying on my deathbed, the last thing I want to do is to regret that which I did not do. How about you? So, how will I live on 50 Australian dollars a day? Because one of my main accommodation choices will be staying at homestays, and for two main reasons, as you can imagine: for the cost and the culture. So I have already booked 6 nights hotel stay in Da Nang, and that's costing me 50 Australian dollars a night. So already I've broken the bank, but I'm hoping over my 90 days that I will be able to ameliorate that out, so I'm still in budget. And the culture, as you'll see when I show you my very first homestay in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, it's their home. And because it's their home, you get to see some of the culture and how they live. Anyway, come and have a look at where I stayed for my very first homestay in Vietnam. This is Hello Saigon, and you just walk up this alleyway. They keep everything so clean. As you step in, you are stepping into their home. There's their lounge area, and there you can see where they cook. And those stairs going up to the right are stairs to their living area. Now, you may be thinking I'm running up the stairs. No, of course you're not. You know I'm not. There are a lot of stairs because I was on the top floor. Luckily, my bag was carried up. It would have taken me some time to bring my bag up to the top. Look at this beautiful open balcony. They call this their garden space. Do you know I never did go up those stairs? I was only there for 3 nights. Give me a break. Lovely area out here and very private. You can see those windows across, but I never saw a human in the 3 nights I was there. Let's check out my room. It's very cozy. The mattress is a tad hard, but because I sleep around, remember, I'm a house sitter, I adjust very quickly. And I really don't like beds that are too soft. There's the fridge, lovely and cold, very capable, and I look out to this balcony. And yes, my Vietnam guidebook and my bicarb of soda, which I use to clean my teeth and as a deodorant and sometimes as an exfoliant. I hope I can find it in Vietnam. I shared the bathroom facilities with one other room. Everything was ultra clean. And there's the bum gun. Oh yes, I have the joy of getting or mastering the bum gun. As you can see, per night, that room was 444,444 dong, which was just under Australian $27. Throughout my videos, I will will be giving prices in dong, of course, because I'm in Vietnam, and in Australian dollars. Please, if you want to know the cost in American dollars or in euro or British pound, because I've given you the dong, it's very simple for you to go and actually find out for yourself what it would cost in your currency. So what did you think of the room? Yes, it's small. I was really glad that I bought a soft side suitcase because I kind of knew that my hard shell, which opens right up, takes up way too much space. So it's working out really well that I did buy a soft shell suitcase. Could you have stayed in that room? Lovely location, walk to street stalls, really good coffee place, and easy for Grab to get there. Hello Saigon is in District 3. Let's have a walk around now at some of the things that I saw when I was in Ho Chi Minh City. Here they are. You can see the Reunification Palace in the background. They're doing their rehearsals because they're days away from the huge 50-year celebrations. And we have the beauties out getting their photos taken because people were so happy. It was so lovely to see all the young ones and the older ones waving their flags and being full of joy. And then, joyfully, you get to cross the road. Oh, by the way, I have to show you where to get an amazing banh mi. This was my very first meal in Vietnam, and I'm so glad it was so affordable. 73,000 dong. I've got to figure out now how much is that in Australian dollars. What a fun time. Where will I travel in Vietnam? I have 90 days of slow travel. If you're not aware of what slow travel means, I can tell you what it's not. It's not coming and going in a heated rush. You know how after you've had your 14-day, 21-day holiday and you get home and you're exhausted, that's when you actually need the holiday. I have no clue how I will spend the 90 days. I've mapped out a rough idea and I'll share that with you now. I flew into Ho Chi Minh City from Brisbane and then flew, after 3 nights, I flew to Hue Non, which is where I am right now making my first Vietnamese video. From Hue Non, I will be busing it up to Da Nang. I booked my ticket before I checked the Google reviews. Not clever, Victoria. That was when I found out that the bus line that I'm booked on has as bad reviews as Jet Air does. Vietjet, sorry, getting mixed up with Jetstar now. Vietjet Air. Anyhow, by hook or by crook, I'm getting up to Da Nang. When I'm there, I shall check out Hoi An, apparently everyone's darling, and I mean everyone's, and they'll all be there when I'm there. And I will also pop up to Hue. Hue is where I will also come across more towers and understand more about what happened with the Champa Kingdom. Then I'll be flying or doing a sleeper bus or train up to Hanoi, the second most polluted city in the world. I may or may not do a Ha Long Bay cruise. Thinking about the prices I've seen, it absolutely is not in my daily budget of 50 Australian dollars. But let's see what happens when I get there. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Ninh Binh is looking good. I'm considering going there. I'm also considering coming back to this part Vietnam, where I will find Dalat, more in the mountains up and with the hill tribes, which I'm looking forward to very much. So there you have it. I have no clue if that's what it will look like, but not the military have a saying, no plan survives the first battle. And of course it doesn't. And so here we are. That's my plan. And I don't know if you've noticed that as you're getting older, that you're becoming more attracted to beauty, like the flowers, these flowers I found around the Ben Thanh markets. I'm becoming more attracted to vivid colours and to compelling history and exotic sights and flowers. Did I mention flowers? My videos will not be me hanging off the back of a motorbike taking a video. That's not my style, and I won't be climbing up mountains and hanging off statues and taking videos. That's not what's going to happen, but I can tell you that my videos will not be boring. I will notice things that perhaps others haven't noticed, which is the same for you when you travel. Based on your experience of life and your wisdom, you notice things that perhaps other people haven't noticed. I'll also be giving a rundown of every single accommodation that I stay at, and at the end of each video, except for this one, you'll also get, because I'm way over budget for my first 3 nights, but that's okay. You'll get a rundown of what my daily costs are, and am I actually completing my 50 Australian dollars a day challenge. So please follow my journey, subscribe if you know another older woman that might happily watch my videos and be inspired for her to travel. But a dream to travel is great, but doesn't have to be a dream to travel. So many of us, I've found, have dreams, and unfortunately life happens and they settle. Now, it's okay if you're happy when you've settled. The last thing you want, though, is to be on your deathbed. Well, I'll talk for myself. The last thing I want is to be on my deathbed, even though there's a few decades to go yet, and regret that which I did not do. Don't you think? Thank you so much for watching my videos. There's a lot more to come.